Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome once again to NoDQ&A video right here on NoDQ.com and the YouTube channel. This is episode number 381. This also happens to be the 998th video that I've uploaded to the YouTube channel. Only two away now from number 1000. That's coming up this Friday, NoDQ.com's 15-year anniversary. But I'll talk about more of that later. For now, let's get right down to your questions via spring.me/AaronRift. Hey Aaron, what were your thoughts on Raw? I think the Big Show Triple H segment saved the show. Overall, I thought Raw was a very average show. It was just another edition of Raw. You were building up Survivor Series. You had several glorified squash matches where you knew who was going to win going in. Nothing that you're going to remember a year from now. But I think it was a solid show overall. The main event segment was very interesting. A lot of mixed reviews. I've seen people say that it was a great segment. I've seen people say that it was a terrible segment. I got a question here from the Chaos 96. Hey Aaron, what did you think of the debut of Glenn Joseph Park Jacobs on Raw? I personally don't remember it too well after repeatedly smashing my head against the wall. So, as you can see from the first question, that person thought that the segment saved the show. This guy thought it was terrible. Some people thought that it killed the Kane character. I'm somewhere in the middle right now. On one hand, I think you need to do something different with the Kane character. You can't just have him do the same thing week in and week out. It gets old. You have to evolve the character and change it. On the other hand, how many turns has this guy done now? I mean, this has got to be like the 50th heel turn now for Kane. And he's already done the Korporate Kane gimmick before. You know, Korporate Kane with the K in corporate. He was part of the corporation well over a decade ago. But then again, I kind of like him coming out there wearing the suit and tie. I thought it was a little bit creepy, actually. So, I am very much on the fence. I'm not sure if this is the right way to go with Kane or not. But, they have to do something. And, you had the Shield out there. You had Kane. You had Randy Orton. Big Show got this huge beatdown. I mean, you're very strong with the heels right now. And the Authority is on a roll. So, it is kind of a repeat of the Daniel Bryan storyline, only now Big Show's the guy that's getting his ass kicked by the Authority. But at least they're finally moving forward with this Big Show storyline. At least we're getting a conclusion to it. And they had all those weeks of build-up with Triple H and Big Show. But I'm thinking at some point you have to do Big Show versus Triple H. And maybe we'll get that at the TLC pay-per-view. But I'm not expecting Big Show to get the title at Survivor Series, that's for sure. All right, this one comes from Roach Poacher. What do you think of Big Show, quote, stealing Daniel Bryan's yes chance on Raw? I'm sure Bryan and Big Show are friends, but it seems like an insult to Bryan for him to create something on his own and have it be stolen by another wrestler to get over. Well, I don't think that was done by accident. I think it was done by design, and it's not Big Show that's stealing Daniel Bryan's yes chant. I think it's WWE trying to not get Bryan over as much and try to use that yes chant to get somebody else over. As screwed up as that sounds, I think that WWE has a purpose behind it. And you notice Daniel Bryan had a very small role in the show, actually. He did come out and save CM Punk and had a backstage interview, but he didn't do the yes chants. And he wasn't wearing the T-shirt. So, he didn't really play up the yes chants at all. And, Big Show was doing it. So, it's just a weird thing that WWE's doing where they really don't want Daniel Bryan being over as a main eventer right now, and the focus is on Big Show, so they're trying to use the yes chants to benefit Big Show, and I don't know if it's going to work. It's most likely going to backfire, as a matter of fact. And the thing about that final segment on Raw too is that the crowd was really not into it. I mean, there was a "You Suck" chant for Orton towards the very end, but throughout most of it, the crowd was actually very silent. And when Big Show was on the offense, the crowd wasn't reacting much to him. The only time they actually did react to him was when he was doing the yes chants, which is kind of funny. But WWE is going to do whatever they can to try and get Big Show over in the main event program against Randy Orton. All right, this one comes from Philly Fantic 1. Hey Aaron, do you think JBL will ever be in the WWE Hall of Fame? Even though he's been in the business since the 90s, WWE hasn't really acknowledged his achievements. It seems like he has to do it himself on commentary. Your thoughts? Well, JBL was one of the longest reigning WWE champions of the past 25 years. He was, as he put it, the longest reigning WWE champion in SmackDown history. So he had a very long title reign, and I think he will end up in the Hall of Fame at some point. JBL has been one of those guys that's been extremely loyal to WWE. He was there during the Monday Night Wars. He was a team player. He was always there for the company. And, he would go out in the media and defend the company. And, he's a very well-spoken guy and a good representative for WWE. So, I know that they're very happy with him, and they brought him back to do commentary. So I think it's inevitable that he goes in. And, there's really no need right now to acknowledge the WWE title. I mean, he's not an active wrestler, so, it's not necessary. But, if JBL was ever to make a comeback in the ring or something like that, I'm sure that they would bring up the WWE title reign and his other accomplishments. But, yeah, I think there's a very good chance he'll end up in at some point. All right, this one comes from Miguel960. Hey Aaron, what year, in your opinion, did WWE have the best roster? I liked the 2006 roster. I would have to say that the best year in terms of the WWE roster would have to be either 2000, 2001. 2000 was that period when the Radicals jumped ship from WCW. So you had Benoit, you had Guerrero, Malenko, Saturn, you had Chris Jericho, who would come in at the end of '99. Too Cool was doing some great stuff in the ring with those guys as well. So you had a really solid roster at that point. And then in 2001, you had the sale of WCW. You had ECW going under. So WWE picked up all this talent from those two companies. Rob Van Dam, Tommy Dreamer, Taz. Well, Taz came in 2000, but Dudley Boys, they came in earlier. And, from WCW, you had Booker T and, all the cruiserweight guys. So, WWE picked up a lot of talent in 2001. And they had so many people on the roster, so much depth from the bottom of the card to the top of the card. I mean, I think that really was their best all-around roster. All right, this one comes from Metal for Me. There's been rumors of WWE dropping Battleground and Hell in a Cell in 2004 for Bash at the Beach and War Games. Do you think that this will go ahead? I don't know if they're going to be bringing in Bash at the Beach and War Games. I think the idea here is to cut down on pay-per-views a little bit. I mean, 13 is definitely too much. One pay-per-view a month is enough. Doing any more is overkill. And I don't know if Hell in a Cell is going to be dropped. WWE seems determined to keep that as a regular themed pay-per-view. I think it's a bad idea. I think that they should drop it personally. Battleground was a complete waste of time, unnecessary. And yeah, I don't know if they're going to bring back a WCW pay-per-view. I mean, they did have the Great American Bash, which was the WCW name. So it would really surprise me for Bash at the Beach to be brought back. War Games is the one I think is a possibility, if not this coming year in 2014, maybe sometime down the line. They'll bring it back and do that War Games match in WWE. That's a possibility, but I don't think that they should do that with War Games being a 13th pay-per-view. I think you should stick to 12. All right, that'll wrap it up for this edition of NoDQ&A video. As I mentioned at the beginning, NoDQ.com's 15-year anniversary is this coming Friday. That will also be when I post the 1,000th video, so keep subscribing, keep spreading the word. And before I sign off here, let me get to the final question from Clayton Rooney. Hi Aaron, I recently watched a shoot interview with the New Age Outlaws from 2008, and Road Dogg said that he would never work with the WWE, and now he is a writer. Do you think that that's right for Road Dogg to accept the offer? Money talks, and as they always say in the wrestling business, never say never. I mean, Bruno Sammartino was one of the most outspoken people about WWE for years, and you know, he ended up coming back. He ended up working with WWE again when he said that he would never work for them again. So anything can happen, and you know, I think when Road Dogg did that interview, you know, he was you know, bitter for whatever reason, perhaps, and had hard feelings towards Triple H or whatever. But you know, time heals all wounds, and even Bret Hart is another example, a guy who had a lot of hard feelings towards WWE, and he ended up coming back. So, you know, when the money's right, and you know, time passes, and you can put the past behind you, you can do business again. I mean, that's just the way it is in the wrestling world. So, with that being said, I'll see you guys next time for more No DQ&A video.